Things are feeling really heavy right now. I meant to make this video last week, but to be 100% real with you guys, I have been finding it hard to find the mental and emotional bandwidth with everything that's going on to make content, and I apologize. But with the world and everything being so tense and things being so uncertain, and for those of us that walk the witch's path, you're feeling the weight probably more than ever now. If you're feeling unsafe, if you're feeling exposed, or if you're just feeling on edge, you're not alone. I think we're all feeling the weight of everything that's happening. So witches have always turned to protection magic in times like these, and Hecate, the torchbearer and guardian, has always stood with those in the margins, stood with those whose society is pushed to the side, the forgotten. In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can work with her to protect yourself, your home, and your loved ones in simple. This is the thing. My goal with this video and the guide that I created to go with it, the point is to make it simple and powerful. So this isn't going to be a whole full-on complicated involved ritual. These are very simple things that you can do right now. There's going to be more in the guide. These are things that as soon as you get it in your hands and download it, you could implement right then. Okay. And I think that's really important for us to be able to do that. So let's get into it. Protection work isn't necessarily about being paranoid or being fearful. Yes, right now there are lots of things for us to be paranoid about and afraid of. But remember, we are witches. We have tools that we can use to help us navigate times like these, especially if you work with Hecate. Like I mentioned in the intro, she is the goddess of not just witches. I know that is one of her most popular energies that people call on, but she is also the goddess for the marginalized, like I said, and the outcasts and the people and that are on the fringes that society tries to ignore or eliminate. Actually, protection magic is about empowerment, not paranoia and not fear. It is about creating boundaries that keep out what does not belong, so you can function, really, and keep moving forward in your daily life. So when we call on Hecate for protection, we're not asking her to bubble wrap us. I know I'm not. Do I want to be bubble wrapped? Yes. Is that healthy? No. So I'm not asking her to bubble wrap me. We're stepping into a relationship, or we have already stepped into a relationship with a goddess who has always stood behind, like I just mentioned, witches, the wanderers, outsiders, the ones that society tries to ignore or eliminate. Protection is survival. Protection is dignity. Protection is sovereignty. Okay? One of the most powerful ways to call on Hecate's protection is through her epithets. Now, I do have a series on her epithets. I will link that up here for you if you want to check that out. So her epithets, those are her sacred titles, okay? And she has so many of them, and that series hardly touches on any. But for our purposes today, and in the guide that I've created to go along with this video, there's 3 that I use for protection. And to me, these are really strong and powerful in this application of them. So one is Brimo, the terrifying, and this is Hecate's fierce side, the one that makes anything harmful think twice about approaching. And when I think of Hecate Brimo, I think of a storm, a hurricane, or a tornado, if you will. And when I envision it, I'm standing in the middle and all of that is swirling around me to keep out the bad stuff. Okay? That's what I envision in my mind when I call upon Brimo for protection. All right. And then second, we have Enodia of the roads. She who rules the paths and thresholds, guarding every doorway and every opening where danger could try to creep in. To me, Enodia is like earth, okay? You're on a path and we don't want things to come with it. So I just think of, like, I don't know, this might seem funny, an earthquake that will swallow up all of the ick that's trying to get to me, if you will, okay? And number 3 is Phosphoros, the light bringer. Her torches banish shadows and exposes what hides in the dark, so brings truth to light. And when I use Phosphoros for protection, I am envisioning her torches burning so bright and so hot that it blinds anything trying to get at me, and it burns away all of the lies, all of the fakeness, all of the falsehood. It burns all of that away and leaves the truth. So that's how I visualize these 3 epithets when I use them in protection. All right, so now we're going to move on to some quick protection practices. You might be asking yourself, how do I use these in practice? So I'm going to give you a couple of really quick and simple ways that you can use the epithets, like right now. As soon as you're done with this video, you can use these right now. For self-protection, you can take a bowl of salt water, dip your fingers in it, and sprinkle that salt water all over your body while saying, Hecate Phosphoros, shine your torches and burn away all harm. So that's one example. For home protection, at your front door, you can place a line of salt or anoint the threshold with protective oils if you have any. Olive oil will work also if you work with oils. So you can anoint your doorway with said things and say, Hecate, Enodia, guard this road, let no harm pass through. For loved ones, you can light a candle and whisper or say or shout, Hecate, Brimo, terrifying one, shield those I love from all danger. The key here is to keep them simple, keep them direct, and these words, they carry weight, and you feel it in your whole body as you're doing these simple tasks, if you will, and sayings. Now, these are just 3, mix and match, right? You could use a bowl of water and use that with Brimo as you anoint your doorway, just as another example. So you don't have to do them exactly like I'm putting them forth right now. You can pick and choose, mix them up if you want. That's where we are. I wanted to come up with something that would be helpful for everybody right now with everything that is going on. It was really important to give you guys something quick and powerful that you could use right now to help yourself feel safer and stronger and more grounded with all the insanity that's happening. If you want to go deeper, I mentioned before that I created a guidebook. It's Hecate's Protection Guidebook. And this is a lean toolkit that you can download from my website. I'll put a link down below in the description. And it walks you through step by step working with these epithets. And in there, there'll be some protective rituals. Maybe they're all going to be very short. And some reflections. There might be some journal prompts, but my goal with developing this is something that you can use immediately upon downloading. And again, it'll be in the description below. I will also include my free protection epithets digital download in the comments below, in the description below. Actually, remember, you're not powerless. You walk with Hecate, with her torches, with her keys, and her fierce protection. You are never alone at these crossroads. And we are at some crossroads. We all know. That's all I have for today. I'm sorry it took me so long to get this out there. If you find this helpful, please, it would be very awesome and amazing if you could subscribe, like, share if you know somebody who could use this. And then until next time, may Hecate's torches forever light your path. Stay safe out there, everybody.